guys, really quick before we jump into today's video, I wanted to let you know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you've probably seen a lot of things on social media, or maybe you have family members and friends, or even yourself affected by the impacts of breast cancer. In honor of helping women in their fight with breast cancer, Prairie State Tractor and Rosebud Tees and Rural Gone Urban Foundation team up every October to create this t-shirt. And last year it was a crop top. This year it's grow through what you go through. 100% of the proceeds from these t-shirts are given to the Rural Gone Urban Foundation. It is a foundation that awards no questions asked grants to women fighting breast cancer. So if you guys would like to support a good cause and help someone with their fight in breast cancer, you can go purchase one of these t-shirts at rosebudtees.com. I'll link that in the description of this video, or you can go to any Prairie State Tractor location near you during the month of October, and those sales on the line are also during only the month of October. So make sure you get one before the end of this month. These shirts are unisex, so it can be worn by men and women. Make sure you go grab yours. Like I said, Rosebud Tees or Prairie State Tractor, linked in the description. Thank you guys for all your support. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all being here. Let's get rolling with today's video. Today we are taking headers off, the Draper headers off anyway, so we can get combines ready for sunflower harvest. Headers are all unhooked. Combines are getting moved over there. And the two 9RXs that we've been working on are still in the shop. We're still switching harnesses over, figuring all that out because we took the weekend off, so not much got done. Now that headers are off, we're taking shields off. This is the John Deere shield that I know Hayden hates the most, and so does everyone else. Piece of cake to take out. Not so easy to put back in. So now shields are taken off all of the combines. We are going to blow off the grain that is on the combines that Tristan can't get with a leaf blower, like the feeder house, and all that good stuff. Take a before and after. Here's a before. I already blew on that spot. Oh, yucky. Blech. After. It took the pry bar and probably an hour and a half. Ay, ay, ay. There's so many flies. Not to flex or anything, but I just did that in under 30 seconds. So in my last video, I showed you guys what we had to do to clean up these busted bags. If you are interested in seeing the beginning of that process, you can go to my last video. It says emergency grain bag cleanup or something like that. I'll link it in the description. We went back a couple days later after everything had dried out and we pile drove the bags again. So we already went over them once, and then we went behind and swept them into a bigger pile. You can see the rain damage, so all of these chunks are just wet, sprouted grain from all of that rain, and that is not a good sign. So the length of this bag fit in one cart, basically, and then that cart was half full-ish, and then that finished that. So now we're going to pull that pile driver thingamajogger over to this one, load that cart probably with all this, and then we can't really put that through an extractor because it's so clumpy, it'll plug up the extractor, and that would not be good. So this is gonna have to get scraped up with a payloader, and then these bags will get removed from the field.
Perry, now we'll back.
After we were done pile driving a second time, we took those sheets off and then turned it into the regular old extractor that it is. We tried to get these hooked onto the roller, like the bag onto the roller. These were 10-foot bags and this is a 12-foot extractor though, so that was proving to cause some issues down the road. It was tearing the sides of the bags out, and it really wasn't pumping out enough to make it worth it. And the clumps of wet grain were going to plug up the extractor because there were so many clumps. There was also a lot of holes in the bottom of the bags from that pile driver. So we gave up on the idea of extracting those bags and getting them rolled up, and we just swept it into bigger piles that are more concentrated in the center instead of just windrowed across the bag, and then they were going to come back with a grain vac and clean that up. So that is going to wrap up this bag extraction process on our end, and they finished out without us. Craig and Perry went down to go grab our equipment back from that bag tear up job, and the boys are throwing tires on bags. I just got all the trash out of the cleaning shed. I'll show you guys more of that later. There's an air system we need to set up this winter, so hopefully I'll be around for that and I'll get to video that. And then I'm gonna go help Tristan and Matt with sunflower heads, because they got all the combines switched over for sunflowers and now they're bringing headers into the shop, and I've never even been around a sunflower head, so I'm gonna go learn about that. So I like to point out how silly everyone else is sometimes, but I was looking at this header, and I've never been around a sunflower header before, but it's just a draper header with these pans attached so that the sunflower stalks can go in, and then they cut them and then they roll in. So I thought that these were missing, and my little girl brain didn't know that those were countersunk, so I took both of these pans off to fix that. And then Matt walks over because I was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of broken stuff, and he just looks in there and he starts laughing. He's still laughing about it, but those are just countersunk. There's nothing broken. So now, after I took all that off, I have to put it all back on, and you have to attach this bar, you have to put that on, reattach that bolt, and they're heavy. So we checked this sickle bar, everything is good. We had to replace a couple nuts. And now this feeder house, we gotta fix some stuff. So this is just like any other feeder house drum. We're gonna replace these fingers. That one should be okay. And then this one is bad. That one could get replaced. That one's bad. That one could get replaced, and that one. We're gonna replace the really bad ones first and then see what's left. Like this one. You can see it's starting to wallow out. You do that with a Torque 40 is what those screws are. So I'm gonna start screwing away. So here's what that looks like without the cover on, and then that is the rubber that was just inside there. So the rubber will be going back on like this, and then a new cover, but these ones bounce around too much. So the rubber is also damaged. Here is an old one versus a new one. So on this other header, what Perry's gonna do is put a plate over this and then re-weld it to make sure that it doesn't crack again. We took all those fingers out, and then we'll replace the other fingers after he's done doing that. Mr. Fix-It Man. I've never operated one of these. It's a Hallmaster. I don't know how good this is gonna do, but hopefully it'll do good enough. Thanks for watching. As always, hasta la pasta.